Hello and welcome. This is Ayana Lahi, and I am so very happy that you are here with all of us today in this week's episode of Be One, Be You. We are diving into how does your inner child want to be spoken to? Who is your inner child? Is it some part of you that stays a child your whole life? Is it a child who has temper tantrums and wants things its way? Is it an inner child that wants to shut down from life? That's not the inner child I'm really referring to. That might be an aspect, a part of, or a quality of your inner child. But your inner child is the part of you that you had to leave behind at some moment early on in your life because you felt unheard, unsupported. You might have felt that who you were, who you are, was not good enough, not worthy enough, did not matter enough, that you couldn't really be who you are. Or perhaps it's the you that felt really supported, but a part of you decided to keep the simmer low, not to blaze too big, meaning not to shine too big, not to allow your fiery energy to get too big because of maybe the world not really being able to respond, receive, connect to, relate to you. Our fear of judgment is big. And we are trained subconsciously, meaning not on a conscious level, how to reject ourselves. It is an amazing dilemma and actually a phenomena of this dual world, meaning opposites. We might know that who we are is genuine, really okay, but how do we really find that courage to be that? Well, we are communicators. Human beings are high-level communicators. Look what we have evolved from. We have evolved through the animal kingdom. All those mammals, truly, four-legged beings, two-legged beings, and yes, the winged ones, the birds, sitting in a nature preserve, for instance, and hearing the birds speaking to each other is amazing. And they listen to each other like an owl in the woods at night. And it is calling, it is hooting, and in the distance you hear a hoot back. That owl is definitely being sung back to. It's like how we feel when we listen to a love song. We are in the midst, live, of a singer who's singing to our heart. And we feel our heart touched in ways that we long to be touched. And so love moves through whatever it can in order to reach our deepest self. We're pretty used to, when we're growing up, to be told what we're not doing enough of. How many of us are really acknowledged and praised for all that we really do and all that you have done that's really wonderful. And if you are in that system, that family, lovely system, be grateful. If you are in an educational system or were in one where teachers praised you and you felt an excitement to be alive, to grow, to enthusiastically want to show up, to grow and develop your natural born gifts. None of us are perfect in everything. We are drawn to topics and subjects that resonate to our core being. In the depths of you, in the deep quiet within you, is a zone that can feel as though it's ready to support you to release what no longer works, or to have a cover over it to protect you from further disappointment, further harm, further hurt. My invitation to you right now is to place your hand, either one, on your heart center in your upper chest, and just allow yourself to feel inside of your chest a place inside that has been shut away, that has not really been seen, recognized, heard, embraced, unconditionally loved, meaning that you are loved for exactly who you are. How beautiful. That is real love. The more that you give that love, the more opportunity you give the universe to bring that to you. I know I had given up after decades of giving and not being met back in relationship. And I spent a lot of time loving and listening to my inner child, that part of me that I left. I was 5, and I hadn't spoken. And I was taken to a psychiatrist. And I remember sitting on a cold metal chair. It was a very cold feeling room. And the doctor was there to give me tests, which he did. And he couldn't find anything apparently wrong with me whatsoever. And he just looked at me and kept staring into my eyes, and I knew that I had to start talking. But I intuitively knew that the language I spoke, from wherever I come from, the depth of the light that I am, could not be heard. It was not even ever seen. It was like growing up in an environment where everyone around me was blind. And I spoke because I knew that look in the doctor's eyes, that if I hadn't, that there'd be some consequences to it. All I could feel was that sense of, your time's up. You need to make a change. Even though I was a little girl, I made the change. But I hid that part of me away until I was so unhappy when I was about 12 that I decided, not really consciously, but there was an urge inside of me. And I reflect on that urge and give thanks for that urge. It's the urge of your soul. So when you have an urge in your soul to break through, listen to that urge. Let it guide you and lead you. Let it open the door so that you can find the sun shining inside of you. How does your inner child, that part of you that shows up when you close your eyes and you create a beam of light about 10 feet above your head down into your body, and you shine that beam of light into this wide open elevator shaft corridor, and shine the light into the walls of the elevator shaft corridor inside of your body. And this elevator shaft corridor goes from above your head all the way down into the core of the earth. Inside of your body, it's from the top of your head to your root center, that place between your pubic bone and your tailbone. And as you shine this laser beam of light from 10 feet above your head, shine it down. Maybe it's white light. Perhaps it's violet, lavender light, or blue light, gold light, and shine it down until you see on the very bottom of your elevator shaft corridor eyes, presence of a part of you that has been down there for a long time, and ask him or her if you can make contact with them, if they're ready, and send that part of you, that little girl or little boy, a message that you're sorry you've been gone for so long. And look for the side of his head or her head, his or her ears, and like you're behind a movie camera, then come around until you see the face of this little one inside of you. And get a sense of where he or she is sitting, and ask him or her if he or she knows who you are. If not, tell him or her. If yes, apologize again for being away for so long. You see, the you that left had to leave because the you that you left felt too vulnerable, too afraid, too concerned that he or she couldn't live up to the expectations, what you were supposed to do, how you're supposed to speak, what you had to do to make another person happy. So it drives down inside of you the belief that who you are is not enough to really succeed, to fulfill what's being asked of you, what you believe you have to do. And so this part of you that's grown up grows up without all of you. And now here you are facing you. You're back in that time and space of a part of you that lives beyond time and space, the you that lives in the sacred, the divine, the you that is held in divine source's heart in the light of your own existence waiting to be received. So how do you want to speak to this part of you? Well, it might be used to being barked at, yelled at, not talked to, told what to do. Maybe it's been used to parents who are in their own world, don't really have the time for its heart. Maybe it has a parent that has been needing it, the little you, to show up for him or her, the parent. And your role was basically defined before you ever even got to go to school. Or if you were homeschooled, even got to learn how to read. So take into account that you have done an amazing job to get to this moment. And now it's your turn to face you, the you that has big plans to love more, to show up more, to fulfill what it couldn't in a past life, to accept itself, to live in non-judgment. You have your own plan. You have a blueprint. In order to fulfill your purpose, your blueprint, your soul blueprint of this lifetime, you have to be whole. What I'm sharing with you right now is the initial step into becoming whole, and it really works. So be with him or her and ask him or her what he or she needed his or her parents to know about him or her. And listen, receive. You can write it, by the way. You can do left hand, right hand writing and ask these questions with your dominant writing hand, and then let your answers come through your non-dominant hand, the hand that you normally do not write with. And you bypass the mind and its intellect and its logic. You access the truth. Here you are with you, Ask him or her what he or she needs to trust you. And take note of this. You will be told exactly what you need to be doing, how you need to show up, how often you need to show up in order to reestablish trust so that you can be whole and reconnect as the light into the light that you are, as being one, whole, unified. We grow from the time we're very small with different armors around our heart and our body. And there has to be something that pierces through us. It's usually love itself that has the ability to pierce through our resistance. You know what it feels like to be in an environment where love is not the language. You know. So I am inviting you right now to be in a new love language. That love language opens and begins in your heart, and it feeds the part of you that hasn't fully trusted that who you are can survive, can make it through, can enter into this realm and survive. Because survival is the big key. Survival is the underlying reason that we hold back. A lot of you who are aware of being old souls, a lot of you who are not yet aware of being an old soul, but you have a sense that you've been around. And why do you have insights like you do? You have gone through different lifetimes of being judged, ostracized, and have gone through pain. And what I have personally realized in my own journey and supporting thousands of others is that it's through the suffering, the pain level that we experience, through it, by going through it, through realizing how we responded and how we have judged ourselves, through how others have treated us, is the key to self-realization. This is not about everything being light and easy and joyful and peaceful all the time, going into a higher Om state while you're just disconnecting from your life, yourself. As you bring back the parts of you through love, how you speak to yourself each moment from the moment you wake up in the morning. If the first thought in your head is what you need to do so that you've got it all together or you're perfect, you're off track. If the first thing that you think about in the morning is only what you're going to wear that day, you're off track. You want to start off in the morning talking to your inner child with your hands on your heart and invite your inner self that I'm calling your inner child and that you can too into your heart, recognizing that this is a major player in your whole matrix. It is the you that carries your dreams, your gifts, the you that's naturally connected into infinite source. God, not religious God, the source of the universe within you, because the source of the universe is inside of you. How do you exist every moment of every day? It breathes you. It moves you. It draws you into silence. Your choice to love this you in the first time you lift open your eyelids in the morning and receive him or her and make that commitment to receive its heart and for you to give your love once an hour, show up. If you're working at a desk all day, or you are doing a million chores or tasks, take 30 seconds while you're doing anything. And in between that anything, connect in with your inner being who just needs love to grow. That part of you called the inner child grows into oneness in you, where you are no longer a separate being within inside of yourself. You grow into wholeness. It's an incredible feeling and very liberating. This week, choose love and how you speak to yourself. Slow down. If you push too hard, take it easier. Know that the task will be done. Notice how hard you might be on yourself. Be gentler. If you're too easygoing and let yourself get away with everything, create some structure. Create a discipline. Listen to the way love moves in you. Feel the way love moves in you. Open to it and align in it. And this inner melody turns into an orchestra, a symphony that is filling up your whole being. And to you I hold this goblet of joy for you to discover and be in. In all of the Spirit Gateways Institute courses, you are given the guiding pathway, the tools, the insights, the techniques, psychologically, emotionally, physically, spiritually, multidimensionally, to reconnect into the source of you and to become all that you are. Please feel free to learn more. I invite you to the Evolutionary Empowerment Global Village membership. You can find it right there on the homepage of my website, ayanalahi.com, IANALAHI.com. From my heart to yours, holding you in deep love. Until next time we meet, this is Ayana Lahi.